Hi everybody and welcome back to the Upside Dan. We have made it. We're here. Godzilla vs. Kong is now on HBO Max and in theaters. This very day, this epic battle between these two titans has arrived. I'm super excited even though it's very early right now. I woke up, watched it on HBO Max. What did I think of it? These are my spoiler-free thoughts. So this is a spoiler-free review. You don't have to worry about spoilers here. Shawn from Lost in the Reel and I have worked on a spoiler review. So if you're interested in that, I will leave a link up above somewhere during this video. And of course in the description below. It will be dropped on both of our channels. Those are going to be our spoiler thoughts on Godzilla vs. Kong. So definitely check that out. What did I think of this movie? Godzilla vs. Kong. We've been on the road to Godzilla vs. Kong. You've seen my Godzilla 2014 review. You've seen my Kong Skull Island review. You've seen my Godzilla King of the Monsters review. And if you haven't, go back on the road and watch those reviews. All of it's been leading up to this, Godzilla vs. Kong. The epic next chapter in the cinematic Monsterverse pits two of the greatest icons in motion picture history against one another. The fearsome Godzilla and the mighty Kong, with humanity caught in the balance. Godzilla vs. Kong was written by Eric Pearson and Max Borenstein. It was directed by Adam Wingard. It is a stacked cast in Alexander Skarsgård, Millie Bobby Brown, Rebecca Hall, Brian Tyree Henry, Isa Gonzalez, Julian Dennison, Damien Butcher, and Kaylee Hoddle. Whew. Stacked cast. But a problem with the Monsterverse movies so far, for the most part, has been the human characters. Did they improve on these human characters? Did they put this cast to good use? No, they were still boring. They were pretty boring, and some of their subplots and everything just seemed unnecessary, and I didn't care at all. I just wanted to get to the monster on monster action. The human characters they were a miss again. You have this great cast in all these Monsterverse movies, and they just have not learned how to handle the humans and their storylines yet. I definitely liked the little girl though, because she, as you saw from the trailer, she had a special bond with Kong, and that kind of gave, more humanity to not only her obviously, but to Kong himself. He could communicate with her. He had a nice bond with this girl. I thought Rebecca Hall as Dr. Andrews, I thought she was okay. She's the caretaker of this little girl. I thought Alexander Skarsgård was wasted here as Nathan. They just didn't give him a lot, to be honest. And that's the most with all these Monsterverse movies. They just don't give these characters interesting plots, really, an interesting backstory, if they even give them a backstory at all, or it seems forced, or it's just plain boring. I think that is the case, that mostly everything that wasn't the action was pretty, boring, but the action delivered. I think if you're going to this movie for some monster on monster action, you are going to get it. It delivers on what the trailers have shown us. It really does. You will have to, definitely suspend your disbelief for a lot of scenes here. Especially, that boat scene, the freight scene that you've seen parts of in the trailer. Suspend all disbelief. If you're going to a monster movie expecting everything to be, so logical, so real, that could really happen, no, you're not getting that here. Definitely you're gonna have to suspend 100% of your belief for parts of this movie. But I didn't care all that much when the action was happening, because the action was awesome. There's definitely more monster action in this movie, and it looks gorgeous. The CGI for all of the monsters, the creatures, what have you, they looked very, very good here. It absolutely looked breathtaking. I loved some of the shots. It was absolutely amazing to look at, fun to watch. Godzilla and Kong, of course, look amazing, and I think there is some CGI that's really not, monster or creature related. That was a little, but I think you'll see it. It just looked like something from the 80s at times, but Not the monsters. The monsters looked really good. Luckily, some of the human stories do have to do, they're focused on bringing Kong or something, or, you know, luring out Godzilla. So they're at least based around the monsters, but still it's just not that interesting of a story. Not that well written of a story at times, but it delivered on the action front. That scene in Hong Kong that you saw in the trailers was very well done. A lot of good cinematography when it comes to these battle scenes, and a lot of very bright lights. So it's well lit, by the way. The action scenes are all well lit. You can see what is going on, unlike in King of the Monsters and even times in Godzilla 2014. You can see everything, whether it's, even if it's nighttime. So you saw in Hong Kong, they had all the buildings that were lit up. And obviously he has the axe, Godzilla's back, you know, lights up. You have all of these lights helping out with this action, which was definitely appreciated and definitely great. Everything that was not the monster stuff did not really deliver. The action did deliver, the CGI delivered, the shots delivered, the little girl and her bond with Kong, that delivered. I was really interested in all of those aspects of this movie, but whenever it was focusing on the human characters, especially Millie Bobby Brown's Madison and her side quest with Brian Tyree Henry's Bernie and Julian Dennison's Josh, that did not deliver at all. I was very bored, especially with that. I just was like, okay, can we get back to Rebecca Hall at least? Rebecca Hall and Alexander Skarsgård's story, even though I wasn't the biggest, you know, fan of those human characters either, but I'd rather that over this side quest. The comedy here, the comedy for the most part does not land. I did get a couple smiles and chuckles here and there, which is not surprising from a Monsterverse movie that the comedy doesn't land, because other than Kong Skull Island, which I did at least chuckle or, you know, get a little laugh out of, the Monsterverse movies are not for comedic purposes. It falls flat so much. I don't know, you're not going for the comedy, you're not going for the human characters, you're not going for the drama, you're not going for the relationships. You're going for this monster on monster action, and that delivers. So I definitely recommend this if you are looking for a good monster fight. Now let's get into the rankings, and I'm going to give you the ratings for the other Monsterverse movies as well. So we have Godzilla 2014, we have Kong Skull Island from 2017, we have Godzilla King of the Monsters from 2019, and of course we have Godzilla vs. Kong 2021, now on HBO Max and in theaters. So what is my ranking of the Monsterverse movies? I'm going to go from worst to best. Worst is, this shouldn't come as a surprise, is Godzilla King of the Monsters. Just watch my review for it. That was the worst. It was so boring. The action was all in the dark. Yes, we got some more monster and monster action, but it was just all in the dark. Wasn't that interesting. The human characters definitely weren't that interesting. This was definitely the worst of the, you know, the ensemble of human characters. Next up is Godzilla 2014 is my third favorite Monsterverse movie. That one surprised me on this rewatch. I liked it enough in theaters. I really did. And I do love that the build-up to Godzilla is epic. I really did. I thought that had some good action in it when we finally got to see this big titan on screen. The human characters were better than Godzilla King of the Monsters. That's in my third space, Godzilla 2014. Alright, so my top two in this ranking. Please give this video a like. Please comment down below, what's your ranking? Did you like Godzilla vs. Kong? Please kind of leave it spoiler free down there, unless you label it with spoilers. Please label with spoilers. What's your ranking? What's your rating of these? Let me know down in those comments. Please subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much. Hit that notification bell. Okay, so my top two in the second spot is Godzilla vs. Kong. Godzilla vs. Kong, I mean, this is the review for it, so you can just see my thoughts right now. You've just heard them. But it was good. The action was really good. It delivered on that monster action that you want from a movie like this. Number one is Kong Skull Island. I actually thought, before I watched Godzilla vs. Kong, oh, Godzilla vs. Kong is going to be my favorite Monsterverse movie. Definitely. No, I think I still liked Kong Skull Island just a little bit better. I definitely liked it. It had the best human characters, I thought, the best ensemble of the characters. You know, different characters that you can care about on this front, on that front. really good actors portraying them, like in all the Monsterverse movies, but still, these were the most interesting to me. And you saw so much of Kong in so many epic shots, so many beautiful, beautiful shots in this movie. Some good action, good adventure. Kong Skull Island is number one. Godzilla 2014 gets a 7.5 out of 10 from me. That's Godzilla 2014 gets a 7.5 out of 10. Kong Skull Island gets a 9 out of 10 from me. I just had so much fun with that movie. Godzilla King of the Monsters, I would probably give it a 5.5 out of 10. It did go up a little on rewatch, but I still am not that big of a fan of it. Then we have Godzilla vs. Kong. I'm definitely, I'm toying between an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10, but I think it just delivers what it promises. You go to a comedy to laugh. You go to horror to be scared. You go to a monster movie to see monsters, to see them fight. And I think that it delivers on that front. So I think I'm going to go an 8.5 out of 10. Now, still, this is not one that I'm going to be like, oh, I need to rewatch this now. I am going to go to theaters to see it because I definitely want to see it on a big screen. I do think that this would benefit from you seeing it on the biggest screen possible, IMAX, regular theaters, at home. If you're not comfortable going to theaters, or if they're not open around you, of course, do what you're comfortable with. But it's epic, I think. And I think a lot of people are going to like it. What did you think of Godzilla vs. Kong? What are your thoughts on the Monsterverse so far? Please comment down below. Label it with spoilers if you're going to spoil it. But this is a spoiler-free review. So please label it if you're going to spoil stuff. And make sure that you have watched all of my Monsterverse reviews. I did Godzilla 2014, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of the Monsters, and now Godzilla vs. Kong. I also did a spoiler review with Shawn from Lost in the Reel. That'll be on his channel and my channel, so you can find our spoiler thoughts on Godzilla vs. Kong there. I hope you guys watched that video. I hope you guys have watched all of my Monsterverse videos. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked what you've seen here and you want to see more, click around here to see some more content from me. Please like this video. Comment on this video. Are you Team Kong? Are you Team Godzilla? Share this video with the Godzilla and the Kong fans in your life. Hit that notification bell, subscribe, and come to the Upside Dan.